Right. Let me ask you something. How old are you? 40? 45? 50 maybe? That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking how old your body is, because those two numbers are not always the same. And the gap between them, that quiet, slowly widening gap, is something most of us do not notice until it has already been growing for a long time. I'm John, by the way. Mid-40s, 2 boys, decent life, and someone who has spent a frankly embarrassing amount of time recently thinking about what the word capable actually means. There is a man I want you to think about. Call him Dave, 50 years old, works an office job, decent bloke, not a gym fanatic, not a disaster, pretty normal. He goes on holiday with his family last summer, and somewhere between the apartment and the beach, he realises he is struggling. Not collapsing, not making a scene, just struggling. The path down to the cove is uneven, maybe a 10-minute walk, nothing dramatic, and he gets there feeling like he has done something significant. His kids are already in the water. He is standing at the top of some steps, looking down, quietly talking himself into descending them like they are something that require negotiation. He is 50. Those steps are about 8 feet tall. Now there is another man, also 50. Similar job, similar life, similar number of bad decisions behind him. He walks down those steps, plays with his kids in the water for an hour, walks back up, grabs a cold drink, feels fine. Same age, different bodies. Same age, completely different life. And the question I keep coming back to, and the one I want to explore with you today, is not what happened to Dave. It is something quieter than that. It is, how does a man get to 50 and not realise that his body has been quietly aging ahead of him? And, more importantly, does it have to be that way? Because here is the thing. We tend to think of age as a calendar. You turn 40 and you are 40. You turn 50 and you are 50. That is how it works. Clean, simple, obvious. But your body does not read the calendar. Your body reads what you have been doing, what you have been eating, how much you have been sleeping, how often you have been moving, how long you have been ignoring that slightly stiff back in the mornings. I have been ignoring mine for about 4 years now. It has stopped being surprised. I have met 60-year-olds who move like they are 40. Genuinely. People who are energetic, mobile, useful, involved. And I have met men in their early 40s who already move like they are 60. Careful about the stairs, slow to get up, tired by mid-afternoon. Not ill exactly, just diminished. Already operating within a smaller range of what their body will comfortably do. And the uncomfortable truth is that this does not happen overnight. It is not one bad year. It is the slow compounding of 1,000 small decisions that each looked completely harmless at the time. So, here is what I want to do today. No gym talk, no fitness influencer nonsense, no numbers I expect you to be impressed by. I want to give you a few quiet, honest clues, things you can check, roughly, yourself. Not medical tests, just honest signals. Ways of asking, where actually is my body today? First one, standing on one leg. Find a wall if you need one nearby, then try standing on one leg for 30 seconds. Not performing it, not filming it for anyone, just standing there, quietly, on one foot. Most people do not think about balance until they lose it. But balance is one of the first things that quietly starts to slip in men who are not moving regularly. It is connected to the small muscles around your ankle and hip, to your core stability, to your coordination, all things that seem invisible until the moment they are not there. If 30 seconds feels genuinely difficult, that is a clue. Not a diagnosis, a clue. Second one, sitting on the floor and standing back up. Simple. Sit down on the floor, cross-legged if you can, then stand up without using your hands if possible. Try it. This is one of those things that sounds almost patronizing until you actually do it and realize it is harder than you expected. There is research that connects this kind of floor-to-stand movement with long-term health outcomes, but I am not going to dress this up in science. What I will tell you is that the ability to get yourself up from the floor, under your own steam, easily, is one of the more honest things your body can tell you about itself. When I first tried this, I made a noise I cannot fully describe. Not pain, just effort. Inexcusable effort. For standing up. Third, walking upstairs. Not the lift, not the escalator, the stairs. Can you walk up 2 or 3 flights of stairs and arrive at the top without genuinely needing a moment? Can you do it comfortably? Can you do it holding something? Most of us live and work in buildings with stairs. Most of us have quietly, gradually started choosing not to use them and framed it as convenience rather than what it sometimes actually is, which is avoidance. There is a line where stairs start to feel optional. When you cross it, you stop going up. And then, quietly, your body gets used to not going up. And then, eventually, the stairs become something you think about before you start. Fourth, carrying something heavy. Think about the last time you carried something genuinely heavy. Shopping bags, a suitcase, something from the car, for more than a few minutes. How did it feel? Could you do it without stopping, switching hands, or quietly calculating the shortest possible route to the nearest surface? Grip strength, carrying capacity, the ability to move weight around in the world. These are not gym metrics. These are practical freedoms. The moment you start quietly rooting around them, avoiding them, delegating them, you have started to tell your body it does not need that anymore. Fifth, reaching overhead. Straightforward. Reach something off a high shelf, or just raise both arms above your head, fully, comfortably. Does that feel easy? Does one side feel tighter? Do your shoulders feel like they have been slightly grumpy about this for a while? We spend an enormous amount of time hunched slightly forward, over screens, over desks, over phones, and the shoulders and upper back quietly adapt to that shape. Reaching up becomes something the body is less used to doing with ease. Bodies adapt to what you ask of them. Which is the thing, bodies do not stay still. They are always adapting, always responding. The question is just, what are they adapting to? And this brings me back to Dave, standing at the top of those steps on holiday. Because Dave did not wake up at 50 and decide to be less capable. He did not choose a smaller life. He just kept choosing every day the comfortable version, the lift instead of the stairs, the car park space nearest the entrance, the sofa after dinner rather than the walk, the takeaway rather than cooking something. None of those choices felt significant. None of them felt like anything. They were just small, sensible, easy decisions made by a man who was tired and busy and had plenty of other things to think about. But small choices do not stay small. They compound. And the thing about physical capability is that it declines quietly, in small enough increments that you can explain each one away. The stiffness in the morning is just age. The slight breathlessness on the stairs is just because you have been busy. The fatigue by 7 in the evening is just the job. The knee that has been a bit off since Christmas is just one of those things. Each explanation sounds reasonable. They are all true enough on their own. Together, they add up to a story about a body that has been slowly getting older, faster than the calendar suggests, without anyone really noticing or stopping it, because nobody told you to pay attention before the cost arrived. Here is what I wish someone had said to me 15 years ago. Your body is not a decoration. It is not something you maintain for appearance. It is the thing you live your life through. Everything you do, work, fatherhood, friendships, travel, the spontaneous things, the things that make you actually feel present in your own life, all of it comes through the body you are in. And when the body quietly becomes less capable, the life quietly becomes smaller. Not dramatically, just smaller. You start saying no to things you used to say yes to. You stop suggesting things. You start noticing what other people can do that you cannot quite manage anymore. And you package all of that in words like, I'm getting older, as if it is inevitable, as if this is just what happens. But look at the other man, also 50, His body is running something closer to 35. Not because he is extraordinary, not because he has a personal trainer and a meal plan and an iron will, but because quietly, consistently, without making it a personality, he just kept asking his body to work. Not perfectly, not obsessively, just regularly. A walk here, a bit of effort there, enough sleep, enough movement, enough attention paid to the machine so that it stayed useful. And that is the hope in this. And I want to make sure I say this clearly because it is genuinely the most important part. Your body is not fixed. It is not a sentence already handed down. The research on this is actually quite encouraging, and I am not usually the sort of man who finds research encouraging. Strength can be built, mobility can be recovered, balance can improve. Cardiovascular fitness responds faster than most people expect when you start asking for it again. The body has a remarkable willingness to come back toward capable, given the chance. It is not too late to change the trajectory. Late is not the same as done. And here is the small version of this, because I am aware I might be making it sound more complicated than it is. Walk. Regularly. Carry things sometimes. Get up and down from the floor occasionally. Take the stairs when you can. Sleep like it matters. These are not heroic acts. They are just the minimum maintenance for a body that you would quite like to still be living in and living through in 15 or 20 years' time. This is where I come back to my boys. I do not want to raise them to chase a number on a scale or a certain look in a mirror. I genuinely do not care about any of that. What I care about, what I want them to understand, is that the body is something you are responsible for. Not just for yourself, for the life you want to live, for the people you want to show up for. I want to still be able to walk with them properly, go somewhere with them that takes effort and feel fine about it. Be useful when they need someone useful. Not be a man who needs managing, who needs to be rooted around steps and distances and things that require carrying. And I know that starts now. Not when I feel like it, not when the timing is better, not on Monday, not on Monday. The clues are already there, in how you feel on the stairs, in how long it takes to warm up in the morning, in what you quietly avoid without quite admitting you are avoiding it. Those clues are not telling you everything is falling apart. They are telling you something more useful than that. They are telling you there is still time to ask your body to be different. So, how old are you? And how old is your body? Those two answers do not have to be the same. And if there is a gap between them, even a small one, the question is not, how did I get here? The question is, what am I going to do now that I have noticed? Because noticing, it turns out, is where everything either starts or does not.